Hi, my name is Jerry Wise. I'm a therapist at Family Tree Counseling Associates in Carmel, Indiana, and I'd like to present a video on toxic anger entitled When Anger Hurts. I hope that you'll join the conversation that we have by leaving comments after this video. You can leave them on YouTube. You can write us. You can email us. You can join the Family Tree Counseling channel at YouTube and get any updated videos we do that are sent to you and will be sent to you. And also watch other videos that we have available. I think I've got about 40 videos now that are available for you on a whole host of different topics. And they're topics that come out of the problems that clients who come to see me express and desire a need for more information. These videos are free to you, and they're help hopefully to let you get to know us a little better as well. For this video, I want to talk about toxic anger. Anger is kind of the common cold in the therapy world. Excessive or toxic anger is a real problem for marriages, for couples, for organizations. There are a lot of people who express toxic anger. I know recently, having had the fortunate experience of being able to take my granddaughter to Disney World, and it was amazing how much toxic anger I saw and experienced down there. The difficulties parents would have with their children trying to have a good time. And of course the classic one I heard was in a very angry and loud voice to a very small child, I don't want to have to be yelling at you all day at Disney World. We're supposed to be here having fun. And kind of the classic expression of anger, and certainly not a way to have fun at Disney World. And I'm sure it can be frustrating at Disney World, very tiring. I understand. I was tired, exhausted, and frustrated as well, though having a good time too. But toxic anger happens. I wonder how much toxic anger might happen at home with that parent and with that child. That there may be a lot of parenting that's done through anger. So why do people have toxic anger? Well, I think there are many sources and there are many reasons why people experience and have toxic anger. I think first, there's unresolved anger from the past. Can be things that have happened recently in our lives, and it can be from our family of origin as well, and in which we have pent-up anger and frustration due to difficulties we had in our family of origin. I think we also can have toxic anger because we have learned anger as a way to communicate and learned anger as a way of dealing with conflict and stress. I think we can have toxic anger because of a broken thought process. We have toxic or dysfunctional thoughts, such as, if I don't use this power, then someone will gain power over me. Or if I don't rush out or thrash out in anger, then someone will shame me or get the better of me. I think some people also can have toxic anger because of rageaholicism. Maybe they've become addicted to their anger and addicted to their explosiveness. Actually, anger, I think, and rage can create a kind of a high, and we can use it to de-stress. Actually, expressions of anger can have a secondary payoff of de-stressing. We can also feel a sense of almost euphoria when we express toxic anger. The problem is, of course, that de-stressing comes at a very high price for yourself and for others. I think people have toxic anger because of a severe abandonment and severe shame issues. Also emotional stuckness and low self-esteem and having very low self-differentiation. I think many times the lower our self-differentiation or self-image, self-esteem, the more anger is necessary for us to feel okay. And then lastly, I think people can have toxic shame because of depression and or mood disorder. Those are not uncommon. Toxic anger comes as a result of not feeling well. So, what's the difference between toxic anger and healthy anger? Well, I think healthy anger doesn't inflict pain. Toxic anger inflicts pain. The healthy anger clarifies a self position with others. Toxic anger clouds self to others and often violates boundaries. Healthy anger is appropriate and is expressed appropriate to the level of the injury to us, whereas toxic shame is excessive and is situationally inappropriate. In other words, we react at a 9 when the situation called for about a 2.5 to 3. Toxic anger definitely has a minus or a plus minus kind of experience where I'm okay, you're not okay. And healthy anger often keeps more of a balance of a plus plus. I'm okay and you're okay, but I do feel anger. And it's not a sense of wanting to shame or put someone down. Healthy anger is not chronic, whereas I think toxic anger tends to be more chronic and at times becomes more acute and we become rageful. And I think rage occurs when toxic anger becomes acute. And then we're way over the top. So those of us with anger problems often see others and see things outside of us causing our anger responses. And I think this is often a common problem. In other words, I'm experiencing this anger to a 9 on a 10 scale because somebody or something has happened or someone has done something. And it seems justified that I can express my anger at a 9. But this clouds our being able to see the toxic anger inside of us. And I think often spouses will complain about their spouse and say, it's not so much something wasn't done wrong. Maybe people have made mistakes or maybe the kids have acted out or whatever. But my spouse takes it to a 11 on a 10 scale. And then that's the toxic anger that I'm talking about. So how do you know if you have toxic anger problem? How do you know if you have anger issues? Here are some ways to think about it. Do you argue frequently and loudly with others? Have people mentioned it to you or to other people, or you've heard from others? You feel angry often, but you suppress or control it. You're known for having no patience. There's yelling, throwing, or hitting in arguments. We have excessive irritability. Maybe we use anger often in our parenting. I don't think parenting is best done through anger. I think it sends it's not message sent, message received. Often if we, the classic parenting response is, we yell loudly, I want you to stop yelling. And again, we're sending 2 messages. 1, stop yelling, and 2, yelling is normal. And so kids kind of get confused by our toxic anger. People avoid telling you things or confronting you for fear of your reactions. I think that might be a clue that maybe you should take a look, see if you have some anger problems. You have embarrassed yourself in public with an angry reaction. Others believe or see you as very intense or bullying. You respond at a 9 on a 10 scale when the situation called for a 2 or a 3. You don't feel you can ever relax or unwind. Anger was the norm in your family growing up. You find yourself being unforgiving, hard-headed, or intolerant. And again, when we experience those types of temperament and feeling, we often have an excessive anger that goes along with that. So what do we do if we identify we have toxic anger or anger issues? First of all, educate yourself. I think there's some very good books to read that are easy to read, very helpful. One is Anger, the Misunderstood Emotion by Tavris, Tavris. And then another is When Anger Hurts by McKay, Mckay. Second of all, help yourself. There's some great anger management workbooks out there. One of the best I like is the Anger Control Workbook by McKay, M-C-K-A-Y. And I really like the Calmness Contract and things that are real helpful for really getting anger under control. I advise people with toxic anger issues or anger problems to get therapy. One of the things often, if somebody has an abundance of anger, they don't talk about things enough. They don't deal with their problems with another person in a healthy way, and therapy could provide a means to doing that. Resolve past issues and relationship issues. Reduce your stress. Oftentimes, stress increases the expression of shame and the intensity of shame. Commit to a life of calmness and reactivity. That's a lifelong battle, lifelong work, but it's a good work, and it certainly is accomplishable. Let me share a little therapy secret for you. I think when we think about anger, when I think about anger, I think of anger as a secondary feeling rather than a primary feeling, and that anger often covers up deeper even more painful feelings that need to be addressed or resolved. For example, someone might be expressing lots of anger or toxic anger when really what they felt first was shame, and then they cover it up with anger. Someone may be expressing a lot of anger because they feel guilty inside. You can express anger because there's lots of abandonment feelings inside, or fear or worry. So I think, again, it's important to look at primary feelings. Anger is a way to take a look. Anger is a cue to help us look at some deeper feelings that we need to address and resolve. One of the things I'd like for you to do is to educate yourself about anger. If you feel you have anger issues or know someone who does, give me a call at 317-919-6264. You can also contact me at www.familytreecounseling.com. You can use my email address, jwlearning@hotmail.com, and start getting help for yourself. It's going to help you, your kids, your friends. There's no reason why someone has to live hostage to toxic anger. I want to thank you for listening today, and I appreciate it. Hope you have a good day.